Todd Gierke, Delta Airlines pilot. You've had quite the career.
It's been good so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you on the A350 now?
No, I'm on the A320 fleet.
Did you fly the A350 at one
I flew
point?
it as a first officer.
You did.
And the 330 and the 7.6. So had a little bit of variety on the wide body fleet.
What's your favorite?
350.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's a nice panel, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
The whole
I
spread.
got a bid in to go back there as a captain, so hopefully that'll happen in the next year or so.
Do they do domestic with that 350?
They reposition a little bit between Detroit and Minneapolis because the 350 is not based in Minneapolis, but there's a lot of 350 flights that do come out of Minneapolis. So there's like a reposition flight that is a domestic flight from Detroit to Minneapolis. I don't know if it's daily or certain days of the week, but first officer, I was just training yesterday, came back from training through Detroit, and they got to ride an A350 to Minneapolis.
Wow.
So it's not typically a domestic airplane, but there's a chance you might see it domestically.
So you're with Delta Airlines as a pilot, obviously. But what else? What other positions do you hold there?
I'm a check airman in the standards department. So, I work with new hires and line checks. First officer I was flying with yesterday was a requalification. I spent 2 days. They've been out on a medical issues for about 15 months. So I'm just there to kind of bring them back up to speed and get them ready for line flying again.
Okay.
Also a Propel liaison. So I was hired to come up to UND, which is great.
You're here a lot.
Yeah, I get to come up here and represent Delta Airlines for the Propel program. Captain Dave Barnes, who's also a UND grad,
Yep.
and I will be up here next week for the career fair at the Union.
Okay.
And then myself, Dave, Karen Ruth, and Mr. Endries will
Yep.
be up here in October doing our Delta Day presentations for about 2-3 days.
Karen's actually coming in for a podcast.
Yeah, originally I thought she was going to be here right after me. I think that's what it was originally.
Yeah.
So I thought I might see her, but it sounds like it's this afternoon.
Yeah, she's a little bit later on. So, and also the Chairman's Club. What's that at Delta?
Yeah, that was a very cool honor. Karen Ruth's in the Chairman's Club. Myself, I think hoping Dave Barnes is going to get in it this year. It's an employee honor at Delta Airlines. The process starts in the spring. Usually about 12 to 14,000 nominations are made.
Oh my goodness.
And there's 100,000 employees, and they go through the process all summer of whittling it down, talking to managers. They have interviews. And I was fortunate enough 2 years ago to be selected as an honoree for the Chairman's Club. So there's only 100 people at the airline that get inducted each year.
Now, that could be anybody. That's not pilots only, right?
It can be anybody.
Okay.
They usually break it down by division. So based on the 100,000 employees, there's about 17,000 pilots.
Wow.
So 17 pilots or 17 people from flight operations were selected. And that could be administrative people. That could be somebody working as a secretary in the chief pilot's office. I was one of 2 out of Minneapolis that were selected.
That's amazing. Now, I heard your background in aviation, your basically your certificate that you carry around looks like a CVS receipt. What? Tell us about every title that you hold with the FAA.
I like check rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened was basically and we may get back into my education and training later, but when I came to the aerospace department in 1989, things were kind of slowing down in the aviation industry. 1990, the first Gulf War started in August 2nd, and everything kind of slowed down. So I was working at the aerospace department, got my multi-engine rating, got my MEI, and it was looking like there wasn't going to be a lot of hiring opportunities going forward in the airline industry. So I just took advantage of what was available to me at UND, and John Odegaard was very helpful in that. Once I got up to 1,500 hours, got permission to get the citation rating at staff rates, got the citation rating check ride with John Odegaard, and got my initial my ATP at that time. So that led to me flying as a first officer with Captain Streibel.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Streibel.
Yes, Mr. Streibel,
So I got to learn a lot from him flying as a first officer. Another thing that was going on, we had a lot of foreign airline contracts at the time, Gulf Airways, China Airlines, Aramco Oil Company. And part of those contracts was each student got 10 hours of tail wheel and 10 hours of aerobatic flying. Not too many people were too interested in flying tail wheel and aerobatics just because it's a little more risky.
Yeah.
It's not as stable as a tricycle airplane, so not a lot of people wanted to do it. So I saw that as an opportunity. Adam Shaw was here at the time running the aerobatic program, so I got together with him, got checked out in tail wheel and aerobatics, and spent about a year and a half just doing tail wheel and aerobatics. We had Cap 10Bs. We had three Cap 10Bs at the time, and we flew a lot. We were constantly flying. We had 2 Super Cubs.
Wow.
So I was able to build a lot of experience doing that. Saw the seaplane sitting over there. Same thing, got permission to get the rating in it. I got checked out as an instructor, so I was a seaplane instructor for periods of time, whenever there was an opportunity to have a student. The tailwheel stuff was with contract students that led to a position with the Spectrum program, working with them in their private commercial instrument. So flying, did a lot of twin engine flying, and that moved into a King Air position. So I was flying a King Air for the aerospace department, and then we had to type rate the students in Beech 1900, so that led to a Beech 1900 type rating.
Oh my goodness.
So I was working in that, and then became a captain on the Citation. So I was one of the two, myself and Kent Stribel. So, and I was teaching in the Citation, I was teaching in the Beech Jet, I haven't got to the Beech Jet yet, teaching in the Beech 1900 and the King Airs, and doing tailwheel and aerobatics and stuff on the side, seaplane on the side. So a lot of cool opportunities. That moved into the Spectrum program, expanding the jet spectrum.
Yeah, I remember Spectrum. We actually still have it on some of our TCOs and stuff.
Yeah, but I was fortunate enough to be asked to kind of put the TCOs together in the course. I was the only one that was hired from within the aerospace ranks. Everybody else they hired was from the outside. So it's kind of an interesting first-time management position for me, dealing with pilots from outside of UND.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of outside from UND too to start with.
So how far did you make it in the quote unquote ranks at UND Aerospace, like at the airport? You were lead?
I was basically the lead instructor for the Jet Spectrum program. Had an office on 4th floor. I worked directly for Al Palmer.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So the Beech Jet was cool. Got type rated in the Beech Jet. We flew those all over the country with the students. On vacation breaks, I went off and, while I was doing the Jet Spectrum thing, they were a little slow in the helicopter department. So I asked John Odegaard if I could get my helicopter ratings on the side, at staff rates, waive the instructor charge because they were all salaried, and they approved it. So while I was doing the Jet Spectrum, I also got my helicopter ratings done, commercial instrument, CFI II. On vacation, ran off and got a gyroplane rating because I was already rated in helicopters, so the gyroplane's all auto rotation. So I figured this will help my auto rotative skills.
I was proud of my MEI, and okay. No, this is amazing. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, where'd you get the gyroplane at?
That was down in Lebanon, Kentucky.
Okay.
It's actually, it was in Kentucky. It was Farrington Field. It was a small private airport. There was a gentleman there, Don Farrington. He actually manufactured the aircraft, and I went down there and did all my training with him. Wow! So it was kind of cool. And then another vacation, I snuck off and got my glider ratings over in Ohio.
Oh my goodness!
So,
and how many type ratings do you hold?
10. And
they are,
the Citation, the Mitsubishi Diamond, Beech Jet 400, Cessna Citation. The A320, the A330, the A350, and the 7.5 and 7.6.
Wow. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. So, it's one thing when you think of students coming in and you think of opportunity, you obviously seized opportunities.
Yes.
Anything you saw, you're like, why not? I might as well do it.
Exactly.
What's one thing you would tell a student right now about opportunity?
Just, take advantage of what's available to you. I mean, and don't be afraid to take on things that maybe make you feel a little uncomfortable.
Sure.
Like I said, the tailwheel aerobatics, people weren't that interested. And I said, I'll do it. Moving into management positions, I mean, not a lot of people want to do it. And it's not exactly my first choice, but it was like, okay, I'll do it. And it led to other opportunities.
How much does check pilot take up at Delta versus your normal flying schedules?
The nice thing about the check pilot job is I just bid my normal schedules. I just fly my normal flights, and they just add students to my schedule as they see fit.
Oh, okay.
So whatever this last student I work with, it was just my normal rotation or normal flight, and I just got a notification the day before that they were on my schedule. So I just move into a teaching mode.
Everything you've done so far in your career, what's the most rewarding one? Most rewarding part?
The teaching aspect.
Is it?
Yeah, I really loved working here at UND. I mean, I got furloughed from during 9/11. I was working at Northwest Airlines. When I left UND, I went to Skyway Airlines, and that position came out of my job here at UND. I was hired as a Beech 1900 captain right off the bat, coming out of UND because of my experience here. So, like I say, UND led me to that job, which led to a job at Midwest Express flying MD-80s, and then off to Northwest Airline flying DC-9s. I guess that was my other type rating. I didn't mention DC-9.
Mm-hmm.
But then 9/11 occurred, and everybody got furloughed for a few years. And again, great experiences at UND. They called me up and said, hey, we have a helicopter position open. So I came back in 05 to 07 and taught rotorcraft here. And again, those are opportunities that never would have come if I didn't take advantage of the chance to get my helicopter ratings while I was here at UND.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that some people are so hyper focused on one thing, and then if that falls through for whatever reason, they don't have any sort of backup.
Right.
Furloughs, medical, any sort of thing like that. So with all these opportunities under your belt, you had all these different options if things didn't work out.
Right.
So that's a big thing. What are you eyeing up next? I mean, you've got so much under your belt. Do you have anything you're like, I still have to try that? Skydiving?
No.
No.
I'm getting a little too old for that. I don't think I would bounce as well as I would when I was younger. Probably balloon.
Balloon.
Lighter and air is the only ratings I haven't really pursued yet.
You still want to do that, huh?
Yeah.
Are you from the area?
Yeah, I grew up in a ranch out in western North Dakota.
Oh, okay. So you're from the North Dakota area. Yeah. Okay. So you have roots here. So as a mentor with Delta, what advice do you have for students coming in? You talked to opportunities, obviously, but what have you noticed the most with students and the Propel program? The ones that are the most successful, what have they done? What's their background been like? What's made them successful?
Well, we're looking for people that are doing more than just flying. We're looking for people that kind of follow the core values of Delta, basically honesty, integrity, perseverance, respect, and servant leadership. So we're looking for more than just flying. I mean, everybody's here to fly, and that's great. But UND's got tons of opportunities, tons of clubs and opportunities to get involved in other things. We want to see volunteer work. We like to see people involved in other organizations. They don't have to be in charge of the organizations, but just being involved in other things on campus, because we look at that on their resume and on their applications. It's not okay. Everybody's going to have their private rating. Everybody's going to be working on their commercial instrument for the Propel program. They're all going to be doing relatively well in school. Some better, some a little less. But I mean, everybody's about the same. So we're always looking for what makes people stand out.
Mm-hmm.
What's that extra little thing that's going to make them stand out and work out well with Delta. And usually the people who are the most involved, I mean, we have a lot of student leaders that we work with here on campus. Those people, when they come into Propel or Aviate or any other program, I think they always seem to be the most successful.
And hobbies too. I mean, hobbies outside of
Absolutely.
aviation, anything else.
Yeah, have a life outside of just what you're doing at school. And it's okay to be focused on school. I understand what that's like. I remember when I was coming up, I mean, I started at UND in 89, and then the next year the first Gulf War kicked in, and the airline industry kind of started to retract, and there wasn't any hiring going on for many years. At the time, it seems like the end of the world. I mean, when you're a young pilot looking forward to moving to the next step, looking back at it now, it was nothing. It was just a blink in the industry. But at the time, it seemed like a big deal. But just persevere, be resilient, move on, keep flight instructing, keep working. One thing I get from a lot of students I mentor, and I've had random parents come up to me in the airport. They see me in my Delta uniform, and they come up to me and go, you from UND? And I go, yeah. How come my son can't get a CFI job? And I'm like, this is just the normal industry right now.
Yep.
I said, just keep applying, look for other opportunities. It will work out. At the moment, I'm sure it seems like the end of the world. It's like I just finished, I got my ratings, I graduated, now I can't flight instruct.
Yeah.
You will. You'll find another job. You'll eventually get it, and you'll eventually build hours and move on to whatever your future career aspirations are. But just keep in mind that it will all work out.
Yeah. I think people look at it, they don't look at the macro picture. When you look at hiring, it's going up. I mean, you're going to have these little tiny blurbs. If people follow the stock market, it's the same thing. It's just noise, a little bit of noise here and there. And right now we might be in a little bit of noise, but it's going to trend up. That's just how it's going to work out.
Yeah.
So, but again, taking these times now and take opportunities. This is the time to do these opportunities.
Exactly.
To pursue yourself and make yourself a much better person in the future. So,
yeah, I was always kind of dumbfounded. I mean, the last 2 years when things were hiring was going crazy. People weren't getting their MEIs.
Yeah.
They had, and it wasn't so much their fault as the regional airlines who were hiring them initially were kind of like, what do you got, 35 multi? Oh, you're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there was like really no incentive to improve themselves. I mean, and build more experience, because getting that MEI is going to make them a much better multi-engine pilot, and getting more multi-engine experience is going to make them better qualified to move on to the airline industry. Because I trained a lot of those pilots in the last year or two coming to Delta with very little experience. And was not good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not just pointing at UND; it's everywhere.
Yeah.
We had people coming from corporate backgrounds, university backgrounds, military backgrounds, and they were coming in with markedly less experience than we'd ever seen before, coming into a major airline level. And the flying was fine. I mean, they could fly the aircraft, but the judgment, the experience just wasn't there.
Yeah. And, people are so hyper-focused when they come to college about getting done, getting out of here. It's like, just take a breath.
Right.
There's plenty of time. You've got plenty of time to get this experience, and just make your job so much easier when you get to the training department by having a little bit of time under your belt,
Right.
So, okay, Todd, you're a Delta pilot. Where do you go from here? What's the next step for Todd Gierke?
Well, wide body captain.
Yeah.
And get involved in the training aspect of that. Once you get into on the aircraft, it takes probably 6 months to a year to be able to move into the training department. And they tend to move you, if you're in the training in one fleet, it's easier to get in on another fleet. Stay active with the Propel program. Coming on campus and talking about Delta and encouraging people. And again, we encourage people to look at all the other programs too. Look at Aviate, look at what Southwest, if Americans on campus, Endeavor, all the regionals, check everything out. We're not trying to push people away from anything. We want everybody at UND to be successful. And if that means coming to Delta, that's great. If it means going to United, that's great as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a family that you just get accepted into, and you have to feel that family. So,
right.
Well, thank you very much for coming in. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.